been looking in the new Cricut crafter groups lately, and I see a few common questions asked all the time. So let me see if I can help you out. Before we start talking about cutting issues, let's look at the different types of vinyl. Go into my storage closet. I see a big confusion mostly on adhesive vinyl versus HTV vinyl. So let me give you some tips on how you can tell the difference. HTV vinyl, which stands for heat transfer vinyl, sometimes you'll hear it called iron-on vinyl. So it has a carrier sheet. It's this shiny side. Usually it's going to look like the color of the vinyl, but it's not always. Sometimes it's like opaque, sometimes it's white, but usually it's a clear color. You would lay this shiny side down on your mat and you cut mirror image. This part right here is actually sticky. It's kind of the sticky adhesive. It's not adhesive, but it is that holds that together until you press it. It's also like a protected shield whenever you press your t-shirt or whatever you're pressing. This takes heat. This goes on stuff like t-shirts, hats, tote bags, tents, anything that can take heat, sweatpants, whatever you put on your underwear if you want to. Right here is HTV vinyl. It's got the shiny carrier sheet to it. Sometimes it'll look like a white backing, and people get that confused because adhesive vinyl usually does have a white backing, but you can tell because it has a rubbery vinyl feel to it. Holographic sparkly glitter kind of almost has, I don't know if you can see in the video, it's almost like a silvery background to it. You can still feel that it is the iron-on vinyl. Same thing, shiny sides always going to go down on the mat. Glitter vinyl, it's thicker and you're going to cut that at a different cut setting. We'll get all into that, but let's first just learn the difference in vinyls. You can kind of tell the backing is a little bit different on it. Let's see what else. We have smart vinyls. They're actually, you can cut them matless. As far as I know, and I may not know what I'm talking about, I think Cricut is the only one that makes it. You can also cut things like foils. These are heat transfer foils. For this, you actually cut the adhesive, then you put this on and rip it off like a band-aid. So we'll do a tutorial on this, but this is another form of something that you can put on a t-shirt or anything like that. I don't want to confuse you about all the things right now. You can use a clamshell, easy press, auto press, an iron if that's what you have. The iron, it works, but you're not going to get the longevity out of it that you normally would. Pressure is key. Actually, I prefer the clamshell press or the auto press, or I love the Cricut Mini. I love that press. Puff vinyl. It looks like regular vinyl. It's heavier, it's thicker. And when you press it, it gets a 3D puff effect. I only have success with that when I use the clamshell. I don't think it gets enough pressure on the auto press because I just don't think the pressure is the same. I don't think it gets it on the easy press. I actually haven't tried like a little one on the mini because you don't want to like press it and then press it again and press it. It's like a one and done for that. They're going to have a white paper backing to them most of the time, but they're always going to have a paper backing. This may look like the iron-on vinyl. You can tell a difference in the material, but you can tell that this is paper versus the other one that you can feel is vinyl. So you can just do a little feel test. You can also just do a little, take your weeding tool and poke, and you can tell the difference between them. Another, it's definitely, you can feel that it's paper. This also can come in big rolls, and you can also get it in smart vinyl. Also, you can get it in removable etched vinyl, which is super cool. We'll do a video on that because I love etched vinyl. You can get it in chalkboard. You just let your imagination run wild. That's what I love about the Cricut. Adhesive vinyl does not take heat. It's going to go on, I want to label the shelf or a mirror, put a logo on a car, tumbler, I don't know, a baseball bat. I don't really know if it will. I mean, it should work on that. Not what you're going to want to put on. You want to fancy up your tennis shoes. That is what you would use HTV vinyl for. Adhesive vinyl also does come in removable vinyl, which would be like making like your window cling or something like that. Now, when the heat hits it, it's always not so removable. So if it's something that's baking in the sun, just keep in mind, you might have to have a little to get it off. The adhesive vinyls, though, you need a transfer tape of some sort to get it onto the surface that you're putting it on. So you do have a few options. You have this kind of transfer tape here, like it's like a very sticky piece of tape. This comes in all different sizes, and you have grid transfer tape. This is Cricut's transfer tape. The grid helps you if you really need help centering or something like that. There's also paper tape, When I use paper transfer tape, I use it for stuff like putting logos on cars, stuff like that, because I will do the wet method with this, and the wet method doesn't work as good with this type of transfer tape. Another really good thing that works is painter's tape. You can use painter's tape. That's perfect for round surfaces, stuff like that. But we'll do some tutorials on those. You just need to let me know in the comments what you need to see. So there's UV DTF. It's very sticky. It's an adhesive, so you would use it like the adhesive vinyl. Once it's on there, it is on there. Once you get the placement, you're not moving it. It is where it is. I have a love-hate relationship with that. This is DTF. You can order them in all different size gang sheets. A gang sheet is what they call these that it's hosted on. You can get them in like little bitty pocket sizes all the way to I think like maybe even like 20 feet or something like that. I don't ever buy any bigger than 5 feet because you don't get a discount. And I'm 5 feet tall, so I really don't want. How am I going to cut that? I just don't. I'd rather have 2 5-foot rows, but that's just my opinion, and you do whatever you want to do with it. Sublimation, that is another form, and you can convert a printer into a sublimation machine. That's what I have. Sublimation can't go on anything. This can go on anything that can take heat. Sublimation cannot. Sublimation has to go on polyester. The higher the polyester count, the more vibrant the image. So if you put sublimation on 60% polyester, it's going to look very vintage. If you put it on 100% polyester, it's going to look more vibrant. There is a workaround to that, and that is glitter is polyester. So you can do an offset of glitter and press it on your material, your shirt or whatever you're going to put it on. Then you can put your sublimation image on top of that, and it can go on black or any material, because sublimation really needs to go on white or like a very light like ash gray color, and you can't print white, but if you use DTF you can have white. So the good to the DTF is you can put on anything that can take heat. The bad is you can feel it. It's not crazy if you get a good quality print, but you can feel it. Sublimation, you can't feel it. It's not going to go away. If you use the proper polyester count, it is there. It's there forever. It's not gonna go away, which is really nice. But if you put a unicorn on a pale pink shirt with sublimation, you're going to have a pale pink unicorn. So I think this is a lot of information for this video. So I think we're going to stop it here, and we'll go to part 2. In part 2, we'll talk about different cut issues that you're having. I've seen a lot of people, why is my Cricut cutting this way? I'm losing all my vinyl. And most of the time it's because the cut is too intricate for what you're trying to cut. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about ways around that. We'll talk about how you can tweak your cut settings. We'll talk about how you can make your own personal cut settings and why different materials cut differently. So if you have any questions of anything you would like to see about that, if you could put it in the comments below, I'll be glad to help you with any questions that you have. If I know the answer to, if not, we'll figure it out together.